What a child sees and how they see it can have a direct influence on how they develop skills as they grow.
And Kellie Kvislen is for Red Door Pediatric Therapy, and she is joining us for Kids Connection to discuss visual motor skills. Good morning to you, Kellie.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's start generically with the definition of visual motor skills. What are they?
So visual motor skills are using the motor coordination of your body, which would be physically exploring and manipulating objects with, for kids, your hands, in combination with the visual perceptual skills of your eyes. So that would be the ability to process what you see. So with play for kids, that would be visually exploring objects and their characteristics, such as shapes, patterns, textures, colors, and so on.
Okay, wonderful. So what are some things that you look for as you see children playing to identify whether these visual motor skills are coming along?
You would look to make sure that the play activity that they're engaging in would be motivating. So for younger children, that would be using toys that are colorful, make noise, toys that have round surfaces more easily fit into children's hands as they're exploring those objects, toys that have movable parts or cause and effect buttons. For older children, you would want to make sure that they are doing activities which would be a just right challenge for those motor skills. So more writing or art-based activities such as tracing, completing mazes, puzzles, connect the dot exercises, building activities such as using Legos are really great. Visual motor games and apps are super motivating for developing those visual motor skills as well.
Kellie, let me ask you this, a younger child. Let's start with a younger child. How do you know if they're making that connection? I know they may be picking things up and playing with an object, but how do you know that the connection is being made?
You can tell the connection is being made if the visual systems are being engaged, so the child is actively looking at different characteristics of the object. And then if they are engaged in using their hand skills, so different motor coordination patterns such as index isolation, thumb opposition, spreading fingers apart, closing, feeling for textures, things like that.
When I first, when reading more about the subject that we would be talking about today, I wondered if it had to do with playing with a ball, catching a ball at all, because that's kind of the stage that I'm at home, trying to encourage that hand-eye coordination. Is that really relating to what you're talking about, or is that something different?
Yeah, that is for sure. That's definitely more of a gross motor movements, so big movements as compared to visual movements as they relate to play with kids and occupational therapy are more of the fine motor movements. So using our visual motor systems to develop some of those lower level skills that eventually progress into higher level visual motor, fine motor skills for kids, which they need for school skills, using scissors, writing, typing, completing activities of daily living like getting dressed, manipulating fasteners, using utensils for self-feeding, stuff like that.
Got it. Okay.
I would imagine that it ties into everything like you just listed, and it starts with just feeling the objects and things like that, but it all leads to learning to ride a bike or like you say, tracing as an older child. Is there something that parents should be looking for, or is it something that's not necessarily being caught by the eye of a parent or a guardian that's watching as a child develops?
It's definitely a very important foundational skill. The visual motor system definitely relates to all sorts of play, gross motor play, fine motor play. It's an underlying skill to all of those things. So it's not necessarily something you would see on its own because it relates to a lot of different systems in the body. And if you, as a parent, ever have concerns with your child's visual motor skills, you could always check in with us at Red Door for a free screen and we can assess that and check it out.
Okay, it does make a lot of sense to me. Sometimes you buy a little toy for a baby that maybe hangs on their car seat or something, and it makes crinkly noises and it has different textures and all of those things. And I think somebody must have come up with some plan behind that.
There's a reason for this.
Exactly, so that's what this is. Okay, Kellie Kvislen from Red Door Pediatric Therapy. Where can we reach out to you guys if we have more questions about this?
You can find us at our Bismarck, Minot, and Grand Forks locations, or you can reach us at our main line at 222-3175.
Okay, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, stay with us. We're going to have more North Dakota Today coming up right after this.